everyone. I'm happy to have been invited by a professor to come talk to you guys today about a research that was conducted not too long ago by scientists from China and England. The research they did was essentially to explore fellatio in fruit bats and how it prolongs copulation time. Now, no previous studies at this large of a scale have been done before. It's the first large-scale observational study of oral sex in non-humans, and they extend this interpretation of such behavior beyond that of pleasure giving and into an evolutionary context. So our fruit bat of study is a Cynopterus sphinx. It exhibits polygyny it has been documented to involve fellatio during intercourse. And yeah, let's go on to our methods. So the study site. The study was conducted in January of 2007, and it ran through December of 2007. It was pretty much a whole year. It was in Guangzhou City in Guangdong Province, located in southern China. And also the research was conducted according to protocol approved by the Guangdong EIAP on laboratory animal care. So, the bats weren't being, harmed in any way. It was all done according to protocol, following this facility's protocol, which, focuses on taking care of animals. So the way they went about capturing the bats, they mostly captured the bats at a park called the Yueshu Park. They recorded the sex, age, and reproductive states of the bats they captured. Now, some bats were excluded from the study, and this includes subadults and pregnant and lactating females. The reason why they were excluded was because they could intervene with population data, and they didn't want that. So, in the end, 30 males and 30 females were tagged. Males had metal rings on their left arms, while females had metal rings on their right arms. So the bats were held in these cages, called flight cages, and in each cage there was a female and male paired randomly. Now the cage was exposed to natural conditions, so leaves were hung on the ceiling of the cage, where it served as a nest for the bats, and also bananas and water were provided for them every day as a source of nutrition. So some behavioral observations. The behavior was observed through a camera installed in the cage and hooked up to a computer. The behaviors were recorded continuously. They recorded from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. The frequency and duration of copulatory behaviors were recorded. The duration here is defined as when the penis entered the vagina until it withdrew. Sometimes the female would appear to resist, and in some cases even evade the male for about 8 to 25 seconds. But the male would eventually follow the female, and until mating was completed. 20 successful copulations were observed among these 30 pairs, and an interesting thing to note is that when copulation was completed, the male self-licked for several seconds, and this self-licking occurred after all 20 copulations, but was absent after 3 instances in which intromission failed to occur. So let's look at our analysis. The data was tested for normality. Parametric analysis were used, and linear regression to determine whether the total length of time that the female licked the male's penis during copulation and the total duration of copulation were associated, and non-parametric tests were also used as well when the data was not distributed normally. Now, Parametric means it's pretty much data expressed in terms of a parameter. So your data fits within these parameters, if that makes sense, from, let's say, 0 to 20. And non-parametric tests are pretty much the exact opposite. They do not rely on data belonging to any particular distribution. So our results, genital licking was observed in 14 of the 20 copulations. 6 copulations did not involve licking behavior. The average duration of penis licking was 19.14 seconds. And there was a very strong correlation between the total length of time that the female licked the male's penis and the duration of copulation, which means the longer the female licked the penis of her mate, the longer they copulated for, which suggests that licking behavior may play an important role in copulation by prolonging intermission. And now here we have a table, or a figure, a graph actually. Here we have the length of time with or without licking behavior on the y-axis, and we have on the x-axis what the black portions represent. They represent where the female licked the male's penis, and the white portions is where no licking occurred. So you can kind of see where licking was very often and compared to where it was not. Here we have another table demonstrating that, well, we have the duration of copulation in the y-axis over the duration of licking behavior in the x-axis, and this pretty much shows that the longer the duration of licking, the longer the duration of copulation was. So here we have like 5 seconds of licking behavior, and the duration of copulation lasted about 100 seconds, compared to 45 seconds of licking, which resulted in 450 seconds of copulation. So around 5 minutes, 4 minutes. So review and conclusion. The scientists found that oral stimulation could prolong copulation. Each second of licking resulted in 6 extra seconds of copulation. Also, copulation lasts longer when licking is present than when it isn't. And in conclusion, this finding has served to show that oral stimulation in animal copulation may have a functional significance besides pleasure giving, in that this research puts it into evolutionary context, because this could increase the fertilization success and the overall reproductive success of the species and help them in this competitive environment. Thank you.